I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. 2019 Cadillac Escalade.
Platinum four-wheel drive.
So this is our first Cadillac,
Yes, it is.
but it doesn't have Super Cruise.
No, it does not.
Now let's get to the horsepower and torque.
420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque from a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. She moves.
It's definitely old school V8-ish.
Yeah, like a really cool dad fast.
Yeah, so I know you've got some rants. I'm gonna let you start with it because I know you need to.
Yeah, so I drove this car first day and I had to get a lot of things off my chest. So here they are. The ride quality, first of all, when you go over bumps and stuff, that's when it falls apart. Over smooth pavement, it's great, but you go over bumps and that's when this thing makes its body on frame self very apparent. Which leads me to my next thing, is that going over bumps, I heard squeaks and rattles in here. What's with that? This is a 2019 vehicle that costs a lot of money. 6 figures, I'll get to that later.
And it's a luxury car.
Exactly. Another thing that's unacceptable at this price, proximity door handles. You have to press the button to unlock it. I can excuse that in a Kia. I can't excuse it in a 6-figure vehicle.
All right, keep going.
Interrupt me if I'm wrong at any point, by the way. The column shifter feels a little bit old school, but I can deal with it.
Okay, so Mercedes has column shifters, but they're like digital. This is like straight up out of an old Tahoe.
Exactly.
Okay, keep going. Next one.
The angle of the infotainment screen, it's completely off. I don't know why it's at this weird angle that it's hard to see for the driver.
Especially when you're using the reverse camera, it's the hardest.
And then when you're wearing polarized sunglasses, you can't even see the top right half of the screen. It's ridiculous. I've never seen that in another car.
Because polarized sunglasses work on stuff on an angle.
Exactly, yeah.
All right.
Next one.
Hit me with it.
Cadillac Q is all touch, and it's very difficult to use while driving.
Okay, we've been in a lot of limousines that have the Cadillac infotainment system. This is the first time really using it.
It's difficult because it's all touch buttons.
It is, but at least they've got this silver trim that you can like put your finger against so you know kind of where you are.
That is the only redeeming quality to be able to use this.
But while hunting for it, you're gonna click buttons by mistake, so.
Thank you.
Fail.
And on that note, everything is gloss black, all of it. It's disgusting, it's full of dust, fingerprints all the time.
But it does look cool.
It does look cool. The lane keep assist. Where is the button, Yuri? Yeah, exactly. It's on the passenger side over here. So that's where you turn on and off your lane keep assist, which by the way is a departure assist even though it's called assist. So once you touch the lane, it gently reels you back in, but it's not actual lane keep, lane centering assist.
Okay, yeah, that's a weird spot for it.
Which again, at this price, is completely inexcusable.
Shouldn't it be right here on the left?
Somewhere there would be much more preferable.
Okay, what's the last one?
The last thing, this is it. Are you ready for this?
Born ready.
Okay, adaptive cruise. We've driven hundreds of cars in the last couple years.
About 250 plus.
Thank you. Never had an issue with adaptive cruise in a single one of those.
True.
So you drive in stop and go traffic, and it does work. However, it's just constantly slamming on the brakes and like hitting your head into these rock hard headrests. It doesn't judge the distance correctly, and it's like being driven by a teen driver driving with Brembos for the first time. It doesn't make any sense.
And why do we think that is?
Because this car actually has Brembos, which are installed at the dealership. So my theory is it's not programmed to be used with Brembos.
I accept that theory. It was definitely weird to drive with the stop and go.
It's just so jarring all the time.
It makes me nervous.
Exactly. And that's the end of my rants. I still have a couple more things that I don't like, but I'm going to shut up for now. Yuri, take over.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
I'll let you have that. I think we should start with the looks.
Go for it.
So this is an Escalade. It doesn't look too much different from any Escalade in the last 10 years, I guess. So let's start with the part I like the most, the taillights.
Really?
Top to bottom, no one's got big taillights like that. I really like it. I think it's such a great look.
They do look good, and I think some people say that it ages it, but I don't find that at all.
And the rest of the back end, they haven't really done much with it. They kind of just kept it the same.
It does look kind of old, but you know what the worst part of this for me?
What?
It's a new feature that they added for 2019.
What's that?
They added a Cadillac logo that glows on the ground behind the trunk.
And?
It's off center. I get that they didn't want to do it for towing or something like that. Just don't add it.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's very weird.
So now the side view.
Side view is really good, just really gangster. Like it's got these big proportions, like muscly.
It's gigantic. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, damn.
It does have presence.
But one thing that bothered me, but I also kind of get, is the gigantic wheel gap in the back.
Yeah, this is body on frame, so you're pretty much driving a truck.
Pretty much driving a Tahoe. But like, it kind of looks awesome in a way.
It kind of gives it this like raked muscly stance, and it does look good. But this does not have air suspension, which would solve that issue and solve some of my ride quality issues.
What do you think of the wheels?
Wheels look really good, like really good.
I want big chrome wheels. I think I've seen so many of these in like rap videos and stuff that...
Because this has the blackout package, so you get
Yeah.
them blacked out, and you get 22s. I like them.
Okay, what's the Continental recommended tire for the Escalade?
The Cross Contact LX20. And one cool thing that I noticed in the side profile at night is that the handles actually glow. I'm not sure if I like it, but it's cool.
I feel like there's some positive things you do like about this Escalade as well.
Oh, for sure. I just wanted to start off with my rant.
And then still on the side, we don't have chrome around the windows.
Because it's got the sport package.
So that blacks out a lot of the chrome. So if we move to the front...
Again, it's all blacked out because the grill's blacked out because of the sport package.
I don't know how I feel about that because I think I like the big chrome on Cadillacs, but it does look very menacing.
This is a bit more like gangster though, because it's just like black on black. Like they would rap about black on peanut butter, which we're seeing in a peanut butter interior.
Also, we're allowed to say gangster, so anyone who comments, you guys shouldn't say gangster.
Yeah.
Gangster, gangster, gangster.
We say it in a bit of a sarcastic fashion.
But also 100% serious.
Also, I completely listen to rap all the time.
So headlights.
Headlights are great, razor sharp.
Yeah, but they don't pop too much when the sun is out and bright. I think you need to really do it at dusk.
However, they are still identifiable, which is good, because it gives it that presence.
I like the lines of Cadillac.
That's exactly it.
So looks-wise, that's pretty much it.
Looks-wise, I love it.
I think it looks great.
It's got a mean stance. It looks really good overall. I do like the look.
When you started complaining to me about the Escalade, and then it rolled up, I'm like, oh, that's still pretty awesome, though.
And I've noticed people looking at me while I'm driving it. So it still does have that pizzazz that people know.
Pizzazz.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the interior then. So I'm going to talk about the infotainments, and then when it's time for materials and stuff, then I'll let you drive.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to start with this infotainment cluster. It does have the touch buttons. It's annoying to use, but you can also touch the screen and everything. It works kind of like every other GM. You don't get rewinding satellite radio. You do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But for me, to turn on my Apple CarPlay, I needed to plug in my phone, go through the settings, go to Apple CarPlay, and add a new device.
My Android Auto worked pretty quickly.
Remember the Maserati?
I do remember that.
Plugged it in and it worked right away. So that's what I'm complaining about when I say it's extra steps. Because some people won't even know that their car can connect to Apple CarPlay. They don't even know what that is.
I get it.
How about the rest of the infotainment?
It's pretty basic to use. Overall, in daily usage, it's fine. I just don't like the touch buttons, basically.
And the reverse camera is such low res.
I also forgot to complain about that. Thank you.
And then how about the cool infotainment secret?
Yeah, so if you touch this button down here, it'll actually pop it open. And then if you touch it back here again, you can pop it closed. So if you want to hide your stuff back there while you're driving and the police will not know about it, that's where you'd put it. Or you put your cell phone back there so you don't touch it.
But now let's move on to the gauge cluster, which is actually amazing.
It's really good.
So you've got a big speedo right in the middle, and then you can change that to show the speed limit as well, or just the needle. And then on the left, you got your tack, and you can put some stuff in there like your lane keep or your not too good radar cruise.
And they do kind of cool little animations when the needle comes in. The needle just stretches into the middle of the screen.
To be honest, that's probably the most modern, futuristic, impressive part of the whole Cadillac Escalade.
I agree.
And then we also have a head-up display, which displays very well, especially compared to the BMWs that take up the whole screen.
And the adjustments to the head-up display are amazing.
Hard buttons on the left.
It's brilliant.
That's also the most futuristic thing they've done.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably the most past thing, but the best thing.
Because like in a Porsche, I've got to go through a menu that I can't do while driving to adjust my head-up display. Like,
it's brutal.
This is perfection. Everyone else take notes.
I agree. Back to this infotainment for a second. The glove box is controlled by a button above the lane keep button. So priority is the glove box.
That's like a GM thing to do. They always put the glove box button there.
Just saying.
Oh, and then the last thing I want to talk about. We have rear entertainment, and then we've got two screens behind the driver and passenger.
And approximately what year would you associate with the resolution of those screens?
I think it's like when I went to Walmart in 2005 and they sold those little screens that you could Velcro to the back of headrests for like $300.
Or Future Shop when that was still a thing.
Yeah.
Best Buy.
I turned on the screen and it started jittering.
It literally jitters.
Dead to me. But in all fairness, it does have the RCA, so you could probably play N64, which modern cars don't. So.
And it does have a USB port, and it works pretty flawlessly when you have a movie loaded onto the USB stick.
And fully redeemed. Anyways, your turn to drive. Let's talk about this creamy peanut butter interior.
Let's.
Is it peanut butter?
I'm gonna call it peanut butter.
I'm okay with that. First, the visor test.
Oh, before the peanut butter?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Yes!
Perfect.
Redeeming quality.
Time to move on to the box test.
Check out patreon.com/TheStraightPipes to know what cars are coming up next, early access to videos, visor tests. You can submit your own visor test and put your name on a box. So shout out to Kevsky Bops. This is number 13, 14, 15, and 16. Our newest guy, Emmett W. Definitely get your own box though. These boxes are sick. Love boxes.
And now the cup holders. So it will fit a medium cup of coffee, which is what I got today. And now, let's see if it'll fit a mug of A&W root beer that I got recently.
Did you actually just bring it?
Let me know if this should be my new test. Hey man, you never know what the new trends are gonna be.
You never know.
Okay, peanut butter time.
Okay, so peanut butter everywhere. Love it. Like literally everywhere.
Tan.
The steering wheel airbag, there's leather on the dash.
The steering column even.
Exactly.
Then on the bottom of every surface, and even the fake plastic stuff at the bottom, peanut butter color, and it's very color matched.
But it's soft up here, which is where my knees are, which is very important.
But we've got a black Alcantara headliner to go with it.
It is pretty fancy looking. And we also have a wireless charger up here.
And then if we lift open our armrest, we've got a cooler.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And a remote for our 1999 VHS system that was stolen from Fast and Furious 1.
It does look like it has that. And talking about these seats, they're very comfortable. The only problem I noticed is that the headrest is like really stiff.
And it has massage seats.
It does have massage seats, so the massage is also very good. You control it through a little knob on the side down here, and then it pops up on the screen.
And I feel like the passenger seat has just as much control as the driver's seat. What do you think of this wood material in here?
It doesn't stand out. It kind of looks black unless the sun hits it.
You might as well just gone full piano black, I guess.
Pretty much, unfortunately. Moving on to the second row, we've got captain's chairs back there. Again, very comfortable, lots of legroom.
Lots of stuff to watch on your very low res screens to keep yourself entertained.
But at least you have 3 screens back there.
And then the back row.
The back row is extremely tight. The floor is so high that it's not comfortable.
It's so weird. I remember sitting in the back of it in the Tahoe. It's odd to see that in the Cadillac when every other 3-row is better, like the Telluride.
Exactly.
Even the Atlas and stuff. The
CX-9. Body on frame. That's just one of those things. But the Lincoln had more room back there, the Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah. So do they make a bigger Cadillac Escalade?
Yeah, the ESV.
So that would compete more with the big Navigator?
The Navigator L, yes.
Okay.
And then behind that row is so little trunk space unless you fold the seats down. Our bags barely fit, but they do fit.
But they do fit. I bet you they designed it for carry-on. It's like an airplane company.
Perhaps, but they do fold power from the back row.
Up and down.
And the second row as well, but not up and down for the second row.
And before we get to power and handling, we know a lot of you guys watch without subscribing, so just hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to us.
If you're watching anyway, just hit the subscribe button.
And before we get to the power, hit those Brembos.
Really good for the size of this thing.
Okay.
Launch control?
Yes.
That doesn't have it. And off the line, a little bit slow, but then it picks up. And it sounds really good. Big V8 power, lots of torque. I love it. This drivetrain is fantastic. We also have a 10-speed auto, which shifts very smoothly. I love this entire drivetrain. This is the drivetrain I want in the Kia Telluride.
Okay, but this has no paddles, but you can limit your gears for towing on your column shifter.
Exactly. And then we also have 3 different drive modes if we hit our mode button. We've got Tour, Sport, and Snow and Ice. Sport mode stiffens up the suspension just enough to make me not want to use Sport mode. Tour is great, but I want the throttle response from Sport. So let's talk about that suspension. Again, for daily driving, it's pretty good, but as soon as you start hitting potholes, that's when it kind of falls apart. So I'm going to send it into cliche corner, but taking into account that this is a massive body-on-frame SUV, tires are squealing almost right away. It handles okay. Tons of body roll, but it's exactly what you expect.
Is it what you expect from a bad guy car?
Kind of.
Pretty much every TV show ever.
It would make all the bad guy sounds in the movies.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier to get away from.
Pretty much.
So let's get to the price.
6 figures, starts at $110,295. This one sits at $120,400.
Canadian.
That is a lot of money for this.
Yeah, it is, but I guess it's the top of the GM hierarchy, right?
It is, but there is other competition.
Okay, so let's get into the competition.
We've driven the Lincoln Navigator.
BMW X7.
And the Kia Telluride, kind of, but not really.
Well, like, it's getting there.
It's getting there.
Because personally, I'd rather take the Telluride.
I would too.
This is cool, and it's got, I guess, more heritage, but the Telluride just felt better in every way.
People rap about this. No one's rapped about the Telluride yet, but I think they will. That's my theory.
We need like 10 more years, I think.
Yeah, probably.
In Matrix 4, they're going to use Kias instead of...
Yeah, but overall, I think the Lincoln Navigator just drives better, has better features, is a little bit more comfortable, has a slightly better massage.
Image-wise, though, would you rather take a Cadillac or a Navigator? Because I would personally rather go Cadillac.
I do like the exterior image of the Escalade for sure, but because of all the interior stuff and it works a little bit better, I would take the Navigator over this.
And then this versus the X7.
Would you take that over this?
X7, 100%.
So would I.
X7 blows this away, but I think this looks cooler than an X7. Even
I agree.
though the X7 may be cooler in general.
I agree. I think this has more presence than the X7.
Okay, so let us know which 3-row luxury SUV is your favorite.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes and Teespring for merch. I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive.